Climate change involves long-term changes in temperature and weather patterns. While natural factors like volcanic eruptions or variations in solar activity can influence it, human activities have been the dominant cause since the 1800s. The burning of fossil fuels such as coal, oil, and gas releases greenhouse gases, primarily carbon dioxide and methane, which trap heat in the atmosphere and raise global temperatures. Key contributors include energy production, transportation, deforestation, agriculture, and industrial processes, all of which amplify greenhouse gas emissions and exacerbate climate change. Climate scientists confirm that human activities are responsible for nearly all global warming over the past 200 years, with current warming rates being unprecedented in at least 2,000 years. The Earth's surface temperature is now approximately 1.2 degrees Celsius higher than in the late 1800s, making the past decade the warmest on record. While climate change is often associated with rising temperatures, its effects extend far beyond. As Earth's interconnected systems are disrupted, the consequences include intense droughts, water scarcity, wildfires, rising sea levels, flooding, polar ice melting, catastrophic storms, and declining biodiversity. Climate change significantly affects health, food security, housing, safety, and livelihoods. Vulnerable populations, particularly those in small island nations and developing countries, face the greatest risks. Rising sea levels and saltwater intrusion have forced some communities to relocate, while prolonged droughts heighten the threat of famine. Looking ahead, weather events are expected to displace increasing numbers of people, exacerbating global challenges. UN reports emphasize that limiting global temperature rise to 1.5 degrees CE is critical to avoiding severe climate impacts. However, current policies could lead to a rise of up to 3.1 degrees CE by the century's end. Greenhouse gas emissions are unevenly distributed, with 6 major emitters, China, the USA, India, the EU, Russia, and Brazil, contributing over half of global emissions in 2023, while the 47 least developed countries accounted for just 3%. While climate action is necessary for all, nations with higher emissions bear a greater responsibility to lead in addressing the crisis. Global frameworks like the Sustainable Development Goals, the UNFCCC, and the Paris Agreement guide efforts in 3 key areas: reducing emissions, adapting to climate impacts, and securing financing for necessary changes. Shifting from fossil fuels to renewable energy sources like solar and wind is essential. While many countries aim for net nil emissions by 2050, immediate action is crucial. Emissions must be halved by 2030 to limit warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius. This requires reducing fossil fuel production and consumption by at least 30% by 2030 to avert catastrophic climate consequences. Adapting to climate consequences protects people, homes, businesses, livelihoods, infrastructure, and natural ecosystems, with early warning systems for disasters delivering benefits up to 10 times their initial cost.